Hello. Let's see if it is working. Is it working? I think it is. It is. It's working. It is working. That is good news to me. That is good news indeed. So now we do this. And what I am going to say is this today. When this stream series is over on Twitch, i.e. when I finish with this campaign, I'm going to stop uploading Twitch streams to YouTube. Or rather to my Naval History account, because there's a problem. It just doesn't get the viewership. And the way it seems to work your logarithm, if your video, whatever's your lowest video in the week, seems to make you look bad as far as your logarithm is concerned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up another channel, which is entirely for the Twitch stream videos to be stored, the game videos to be stored, and I will slowly transfer all the videos. Well, any future videos will go over there, rather than having them just relying on being on Twitch. The question though is, and this is the reason I'm bringing this up here, is if you're watching my Twitch streams and you haven't watched them, you might have a suggestion for what the name should be of my Twitch stream channel on YouTube, i.e. where I upload the games to. So I'd like suggestions. And I don't think there's anyone currently watching other than me right now, so this is the great thing about this. This video, when it goes live, will go live literally to the people who watch this video on YouTube. Or if anyone watches Twitch stream from the beginning. I don't know if people do. People! Hello! That was a very loud cannon thunder. That was a very loud thunder of cannon. Yes, as I was just saying, basically I have a plan. And I have a question for people. And basically, the idea is going to be, if you have suggestions for what you'd like the channel on YouTube I'm going to set up to eventually for these videos once this campaign's over. Once this campaign's over, any future subsequent campaigns, anything else I've done on Twitch is going to be uploaded to YouTube, but not to the main YouTube channel. It's going to be uploaded to a new channel, which is just for the video game streams. And I'm going to be saying, in the nicest way, I'd like suggestions over Discord, which you can find a link to on my YouTube channel. There's Discord links all over there. And I'd love suggestions for what you think that channel should be called. Hello Spike, hello Paul, how is everyone doing? Hope you're enjoying yourselves. How goes your Sunday? I'm just going to turn down the volume of just a tad. Right, that should be okay. Now that's all working quite happily. That's all doing itself. How's research doing? How is everyone doing today? Don't need to be researching that, or that, or that. Internal protection. Medical system. That could be useful. I'm probably going to go for hull strengthening, hull construction, and boilers. So how's everyone doing today? Spikes and Paul are being curiously quiet. They're both probably... or alternatively, they're currently messaging me with suggestions. Dang. I can... Paul, actually, honestly, on this back pain, I have had a small snippet of what your life might... is probably, to an extent, like. Because... yesterday, whilst sorting out stuff in the attic, I managed to fall against the... this is going to sound strange. We have a attic hatch door, which has a ladder behind it, but not connected to the door. And the door, you sort of lift up, push out the way, and then you bring the ladder down. And the ladder... how do I put this? I thought it was okay. It was far, and I put my foot on it to come down. Turned out my sister had moved it a bit, and it decided to skid on the carpet. Not really the safest thing to happen to you. And I smashed into the... best one is the corner of that attic hatch. And yeah, that made for a very uncomfortable back and a not very nice sleep. And yeah. Can I ask a question? How do you manage to keep so nice and calm? Because that one night of that, and whilst I don't sleep normally, one night of that while trying to lie down was an experience. Which may be a little bit ratty this morning. Just a little bit. This could be interesting. We think we will fight this battle. This is not going to be a fair battle. Please note, this is not a fair battle in any stretch of imagination. Sable, Forester. That should do. I'm tempted to send you, actually, off to back up. Actually, that's what I will do. Check they're all on avoiding torpedoes. I don't want any of them getting hit. These continue on at that speed. These continue on at 26. There. Now this has 9 16.5-inch guns, and all of these have also got 9. Nine, and there's one in here. Oh yes, superb. 16. So this could be interesting. You don't. You get resigned to eventually falling asleep at some point due to exhaustion. Yeah, sometimes the insomnia treats me like that. I do call myself a functioning insomniac because I'm used to surviving on minimal to no sleep. But it is a case of sometimes it has got worse than others. So I get that one. I really do. Hi, Drunon. Hi, Jonathan. Mute mode today. I don't think I'm muted. I think I can be heard. Could be fun, yeah. There are lots of ideas. I think, as said, it's just a case of, I think, the thing is that my channel on YouTube is an education channel. And to YouTube, the campaigns are not, as much as I'd like to answer the naval history questions and do like to talk, it is more of a, it's just as much, it's as much about the game as it is about the conversation, and YouTube doesn't really do that. YouTube really doesn't do that. So basically I have one battleship which is just wrecking them. It would be fun though to do that, to do each country. Not sure what my destroyers are doing. They're supposed to be screening, and they appear to be getting themselves sunk. Including my fast destroyers? Yes, my fast destroyers are getting themselves sunk. I'm gonna have to build more destroyers, aren't I? It's gonna upset someone. Every time I order 100 destroyers, the American Admiralty cries in this game. Yes, we are hunting that. This is our target. It thinks it's our match. It thinks because it has 16.8-inch guns, and more importantly has 12 of them, it's our match. We have 16.5-inch guns. It's not our match. What are you just doing? Just sailing backwards and forwards here, just slowly bombarding all of them. They're really having fun today. I can't tell if today will be a rope yarn, which I'd like to be, or actually productive, which also kind of wanna. It's a Sunday. Have a rope yarn. Have a nice day. Find a hammock. That's what you should do on a Sunday. Find a hammock. Only if you're workaholics, and I mean absolute workaholics like myself, do you find a relaxing Sunday to be doing something other than having a rest. And for me, this is actually my version of having a rest. It has a lot of secondaries, as is traditional with the French Navy. Would you stop? Excuse me, you have an actual battleship there! Battleship there! Engage battleship! Stop worrying about cruiser over there, which has got 4 battleships fighting him! Targeting analysis, please! Point to the battleship! This is the one problem I occasionally have with this game. I don't know. The only thing that I have to do is laundry and shower. Poor deluded ship. There are many deluded ships in this game. Sprint to I did a sprint of moving. Always good. Slowly getting it gear from the last way. As it is, I'm going to end up being the last person out of this house. I'm going to be the first person out of this house because I'm going to go get the other place ready. And get all the building work started and all the stuff going on that. And then eventually the girls are going to move out and then I'm going to come back and do this place up for sale. and so I will be the last person out of this house. And I'm sort of looking forward to that, although I do realise it's going to be very, very empty. Do quiero. The French battlecruiser is sunk. That's a surprise. It was having a fight with 4 battleships. I'm not worried about the other battle going on. There is another battle going on. It really doesn't matter to me much. Oh, which of you deluded? You are not trying to fight all 4 of them, are you? So you really want to get away? We are having this nice little fight going on here between you and me. You do realise what's behind you and coming up. I mean, if you slow down at any rate, Brennis, anyway, there are 4 battleships which unknowingly I have managed to position directly behind you. And then there's a Royal Sovereign across you just going, hello, have a bombardment. Bombardment! Okay, I think the French battleship is officially out of the fight. She does have secondaries still to engage, but she appears to have lost her turret. At this point in real-world history, that ship would have gone boom. But as it is, that ship is still alive. It just no longer has the ability to fire any of its primary armament. Because again, apparently they only have 1 magazine for all these guns. I think it'd at least be divided into 2. Let's go see what Royal Sovereign's looking like. As you can see, she looks like she doesn't... Does she even take a notice of the fact she's in a fight? That battleship was technically her equal. Arguably, according to the statisticians, her superior. After all, it had 12 16.8-inch guns, and she merely had 9 16.5-inch guns. Merely 9 16.5-inch guns. And yet, Royal Sovereign is sitting here going, hello. I would like to have a conversation with your manager. Your performance as my opponent today has been less than satisfactory. I feel you could have done more. Brenna's just having a small problem here. Ouch, that was going to hurt. Just a small problem. Highlighted messages. I've never had one of those before. If Warspite's Machine Spirit could go to the warship store, stocked with the latest and greatest marine and weapons and engineering body, how does Warship build a new body? Honestly... Imagine a Zumwalt class with Iowa turrets sort of thing going on. I mean, she'd probably sit there going, where am I going to find decent guns? I want a lot of VLS. I want to be bigger than a Zumwalt, of course. I want armor, but I still want to be stealth. Honestly, in a modern scenario, I just wouldn't like to see it. I'm not quite sure what Warspite would get, but that would be an interesting discussion. What what do I think the Warspite machine spirit want? Even worse, what would the HMS New Zealand spirit want? Hello, Random Dale fan. You've given up your attempt to nap in a sunbeam in order to come watch ships go boom. That's good. That is good. Oh, the French cruiser has sunk. It sunk. Where are the battleships? Full speed. So now they're coming along at full speed. I can detach you, do this, and tell you to go to full speed as well. Because I think we're going to need to stick it with some torpedoes. That's the only real option we have. It's down to secondaries, it's down to tertiaries, it's down to everything. Come on, Furious. Come alongside. Can anyone make a 12-inch gun? That's an interesting question. For that, I think you should go and talk to the Swedish and to the Finnish, who are managed to keep their barrels lined and working, apparently. So theoretically, they have the capability. And both of them have just joined NATO. I'm not sure what Royal Sovereign is doing. I honestly don't know. I've got her under auto command currently. She's just wandering around. There are 4 more battleships coming in from that direction. And the French ship is just going, I am so in trouble now. I think the French ship has turned to try and orientate itself towards Furious. Because Furious here, the light cruiser coming up, has saved all her torpedoes. She has saved her torpedoes. She has 30 torpedoes, apparently. Lots of 6-inch guns. She's got flooding. She's got all sorts of things going on, getting close, but she's getting close. And the closer she gets, well, the more of a problem it is for... Oh, good lord, the other battleships got in range. That's enough torpedoes to make this very painful. And that's enough battleships coming into range to make this permanent very soon. Basically, I'm doing the old policy of no French ship shall leave alive. Or under its own steam, if possible. They sunk my cruiser, that's annoying. Look at Sweden, what are you? Look, Sweden is best described as a country which heard the phrase muscular neutrality and went, oh, that's good. There is a person who does shorts on TikTok, I believe, but I mainly see them on YouTube, who calls Poland the little European Texas when it has an approach to guns. That's mainly because they haven't looked into Sweden's stockpile. Sweden believes that not only should it have all the guns, it should invent its own version of all the guns because it can do it better than you can. And they still do. "12-inch flat cannon. You could have an interesting time, but I think to get enough rate of fire to do a decent flat cannon, a scenario with 12-inch guns, you need probably at least 6 barrels to keep up the required rate of fire because of the size and weight of loading, even auto-load links. So you need either 3 twin mounts or 2 triple mounts, probably 3 twins. Random elephant. Okay, I went looking. Apparently the US currently has a 72-meter long 5-axis mill with a plus to minus 5 micron accuracy. Yes. Point historically, Sweden once held 90% of Scandinavia. They once held 90% of Scandinavia, Poland, quite a lot of northern Germany, and large swathes of Russia. At one point, the Swedish Empire was honestly on its way to taking over the rest of Europe. The sheer circumstances which actually managed to make an alliance viable for beating them included, I think, the Swedish king dying unexpectedly. Currently got 200,000 tons of capacity left. So if I've got 1,200 ton, 2,000 ton destroyers. The question is, can I get a 2,000 ton destroyer? I have an idea. But I can't find anything about boring machines or lathes in the US. I'm fairly sure they have them, and they're probably part of the strategic reserve, because remember, they have to keep the facilities available to make sure the Iowa class can work, because the Iowa class they were decommissioned, but are technically still owned by the US Navy, if I remember correctly. Are you sure you're not going to run out of iron ore anytime soon? I actually could run out of iron brews quite soon. This is more of a problem. I'm currently facing a massive iron brew shortage because the scenarios where usually I procure iron brew haven't worked. It's going to be a small destroyer, right? Why is it gone the wrong way around? That's annoying me. That's too small. Right then, how are we going to take the weight down? Currently, I'm several thousand tons over what I want to be. So I'm now 200 tons over. What can we do? What can we do? What can we do? I forgot I want those as long as possible, don't I? Remember, I'm now back on can, so it's actually carbonated when I drink it. That is always an advantage. There are all sorts of options that could be going on. One of the things you should never doubt with both Britain and America, with both the US Navy and the Royal Navy, both navies have a sincere habit of making sure they have options. They very much like the concept of options. They do like to have options. What can I do to drop 200 tons off you, my friend? I've already got you down to 6 guns only instead of my usual 12. You've got 10 torpedoes rather than dozens of torpedoes, and I consider that rather useful. But you're still 200 tons overweight. What can we reduce you by? You've got barely any armour. That still doesn't take you up to 300 tons more. Ship is overweight. What is giving you this weight, my dear? You've got all these things, but they're necessary to make you viable as a small destroyer. Don't get me started on your role and efficiency. Let's go to that. What are we going to do with you? We're going to do something. We're going to have to figure out what that is going to be. Why is it flipped around? Why am my things for getting it to go the right way around not working? don't want you, don't want you. Why are you going that way round? That looks weird. You're not supposed to... Look. That doesn't look right. Okay? It doesn't look right. That looks right. And main guns, 5-inch triples. Thank you. Hang on. What else should we do? That's not really going to help me, is it much? If I do the main belt the same, does that help me much? The stability? No. We'll take that down to about 3 inches. Take that up to 1 inches. And half belt. That'll have to do. And let's call this the I don't think we're going to call it. We're going to call this the Drake. It's going to roll and pitch like anything. Ah, Temptus. Are we having fun? I think I'm having fun. I'm designing what is the... in the nicest way, they still haven't fixed the destroyer system. They still haven't fixed the destroyer hulls. For some reason, their stability is still absolutely terrible. Also can't cast our own civilian reactor housings anymore. Well, that's an interesting scenario. Again, that's something which is being discussed. Because again, there is in the UK there was a discussion about that, and then it was pointed out that we do have the facility. It's just owned by the government. And a lot of the times when you hear people say, we can't do that anymore, Sometimes it's because the governments have been stupid, and I was told I should say that as the Drake. I'm sure I say that as the Drake. Oh well. But it's a case of, as a rule, when governments actually own things, there is often a section of government which decides we've got to keep this quiet that we own this because someone will find a reason to sell it off. Because, especially since the governments in the West have got so attracted to the concept of just-in-time logistics and efficiency, they often think if you're not using something right now, you should sell it off. But sometimes some things are very expensive to procure, and it's far easier to keep them around quietly, and then use them when you need to use them, as long as you've got the instruction manuals and some personnel standing by who actually know how to use them, than it is to get rid of it and then have to rebuild it from scratch. Tantus, would you recommend its current state? Yeah, look, there are problems with this game, but it's trying to deal with a very, very complex world. So it's not perfect, but it's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun with it. You can decide if you want to play it at the strategic level or you can play it at the tactical level. You can organise things. You will be stabbed in the back by your allies at least 3 times in every game. But that's, again, kind of like real life, so that doesn't make much difference. There's always someone trying for power. But I enjoy it. Okay, can I please say I'm slightly worried by something? Because I'm starting to get a lot of adverts on YouTube about anime. Okay? And as those who've been watching my YouTube channel, and I think a fair number of you have been, will know, my mother has recently found VTubers. Oh, good lord. And my mother is one of those people who, the moment she gets interested in anything, will instantly become an expert on it. And I don't mean that in the instantly able to have an opinion. I mean, instantly, within a couple of weeks, she will know all the lore, all the history. She's currently been updating me on various things. And she keeps asking me why I haven't done collabs with more people like this. And I'm going, because I haven't been invited, and as we all know, I'm fairly on. My view of naval history is I will turn up and talk with anyone quite happily, literally anyone, whether they want me to or not. But if they invite me, especially, because I'd like to get more and more people interested in naval history, because I think it's something you need to learn and you need to understand the modern world, and also to understand where the modern world is going. But ever since I swear YouTube has started pushing it more at me because she's been looking at it more. VTubers like who? Well, okay, she hasn't yet picked out her Oshi officially. She started off with Rin Penrose. She has worked through. She's enjoying Doki at the moment. She realizes there's quite a lot of people who found Doki because of all the issues that are going on with Doki, but she quite likes her. She's got about 6 names I've picked up, okay? I have no idea if they are different people or they're the same person or who they are, but She's having fun with it. And she's still finding time to do all her other activities, which is another thing which annoys me. Every time I end up having a conversation with my mother about her latest hobbies, it just makes me feel like, how do you have all the energy to do that? How do you have... And I swear, I'm dealing with work and all these other things, and you're doing all this stuff. Most likely they're different. I am thinking they're different persons. I'm presuming that, but I just... Well, destroyers are doing okay at the moment. It's just... It's just keeping up with her, honestly. It's a full-time job. But no, it was... The thing is, what I find is, it was not that long ago I introduced her to the concept because I found Rin Penrose because it kept popping up as one of the people which my videos, people watching my videos, you know, on the analytics. As I said, the analytics kept coming up with this person called Rin Penrose who they were watching, as well as watching my videos, and I went, okay. I'll go find out, because I recognised all the other accounts which were showing up. They're Drakenfell, those sort of things. I recognised those accounts, and then there's this account keep popping up, which, okay, fine, went to it. And I found the whole VTubing world. And I did a little bit of study into it, I have to admit, because I was sort of going, well, let's find out try and work out what the link is. I decided the link might be that we both speak with a slightly posh British accent. And so that's why people are doing that. But anyway, I then introduced my mum to this world and was telling her about it because I was talking about what I'd been doing with my day, etc. And we'd been talking everything. So she goes off and finds them. And then from there, she's got into the whole thing. Usually time requirements and colours mean there's one person model. I'm fairly sure it is. But I do realise some people have multiple accounts. I managed to pick that up from the fact that Doki Bird was called... I do notice. When she was with the company, Niji something, she was... Oh, good lord. Yeah, my mum will know all this. Niji-san and Selen, yes. She was Selen Tatsuki, wasn't she? With Niji-san. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, and it's like sort of... So some of them I do... When she's talking about them, I'm not sure if she's talking about them... Because she's also gone and looked up all their past stuff. And she is Niji-sanji. Okay. She is very, very upset with Niji-sanji. She was worried a couple of days ago about Idol. Because apparently there was an issue with one of their other people, not Rin Penrose. And she was worried that they also might turn out to be a bad company. But that seems to be resolved, so she's happy with that. And I just sit there and go, okay, so now we've gone to the point where I get updates about all the neighbours. The very, very copiously wide family. All your various groups you are a member of, as gardening groups, various societies, cooking societies, etc. And also your view of what my YouTube channel and the various chats that have been going on there are. And now I also get your VTubing update. And that's the morning conversation with my mum. And it's a case of, just I'm picking up quite a bit from listening to her, but there's also it's also going, at some point, I'm going to end up having to, you're going to end up watching Ship Girls, aren't you? I know Ship Girls exist. And it's a case of, it's intriguing me. I do find it intriguing. There's this whole world going on. And I have to say, I've seen quite... since I've did flick on through it. Hello! Guardsman14. Hello, you've been subscribed to the channel for 30 months. Thank you. It's a case of, since I have looked at Rim Penrose's account, I have now been getting quite a lot of their shorts, and their shorts are funny. I do understand the joy of the Blahaj. I do understand the sharks, and I fully intend to maybe get one in my new place to go along with my torpedo. Because if I get a big fluffy torpedo, which I'm hoping World of Warships will send me a big fluffy torpedo. I have kept going, you know, nice way going out. What I will do is I will stick as you know, I've talked for many years of putting up an Iron Brew display, lighted up Iron Brew display with all the glass bottles I've got. So I'll do that, and my idea is to have it crosswise in that the fluffy torpedo and a Blahaj shark or dolphin or killer whale maybe. I'm just thinking one of them which would be about the same size as a torpedo, so they'll be crossed with Iron Brew bottles filling in the lit up Iron Brew bottles filling in the display. I just think that would be a cool thing to have behind me as I stream and chat with you all. What do you think? I don't think anyone makes a big fluffy swordfish. Mm-hmm. Okay, now you've lost me, Tematus. HoloLive EN? What is that? And what is a Gawagura plushie? My mum might know the answer to these already, because my mum has already started ordering stuff. She has already got the merch. She has a new hoodie coming, apparently. I will have to Google it, yes. Will you have enough room along with your books? Yes, I will do, because that's going to be a wall display. In the new place, it's going to have stairs up one wall, so I'm going to put the thing on the side with the stairs. She is a VTuber. Ah, okay. I'm going to Google it now, just so I don't forget. Okay. Ah, yes! I think she's one of the... I think my mum could have been talking about her the other day. I really do, because I remember her talking about the shark with a trident. I think my mum could have been talking about her the other day. She might be one of the ones she likes. That's freaking me out a bit, but yeah. Yeah, my mum tends to like the ones who are known to be a menace. Oh, I think, you know... Well, no, the main reason I was going for the Blahaj one is A, I like the IKEA ones, and there's going to be a lot of IKEA furniture to begin with in there anyway. But also... because... and oh, God, I got that expense coming out. Oh, frick it. Sorry, every time I think about a move. So much money. Moving house is so expensive, and their bills come from nowhere. And you just go, I'm okay. I have my normal pot of money. I am fine. And then the bills come in, and you're going, okay, so this is going to be a... not even... bachelor's noodles, or not even super noodles month. This is going to be very basic noodles and Iron Brew month. Oh, I'm gonna live such a sheltered life. You do, Paul. Oh, I honestly worry about the fact that at some point my mum's gonna come on brew ships when we're in the new house. Mainly, I'm worried from the perspective of all of you actually meeting her and actually going, oh my, and actually getting to learn what it's like. The stuff you will get introduced to. The stuff you will get introduced to. Can't speak of that though. 19 knots. 22 knots. Should be able to catch it. 24.5 knots. 32 knots. 35 knots. Trident, 33 knots. 35 knots. Could catch it. Hello, Jack Ray. Write book. Cooking with Iron Brew. I'm tempted to do that. You could be getting that soon because... Oh, they're sending another... Oh, that's not a battleship. Because I've said I'm going to have my galley kitchen is going to be off my office. So my galley kitchen with my cooker and all those things is going to be off my... It's going to be literally attached to sort of one end of my office, and it's going to have my room door into the garden sort of thing in it. And you could be getting a lot of cooking shows because I could set up a camera in there and go, right then, now we're doing the Cooking with Alex, what are we cooking today video. I bet she's already run into Fillion. Fillion is a Fox girl with CGI model who's known to hurt herself track equipment by doing aerobatics while live. That sounds painful. Take care, Tematus. Enjoy the sauna. I'm still getting over that there is information here when oh, good lord. Oh, these light crews are going to have a world of pain. Runon, I've just discovered that one of the bedrooms and living room are wired into the same circuit. That might not necessarily be the worst thing in the world. Jack Ray, VTube. I think it is to an extent. But from what I have heard about it, it's basically a way to feel comfortable sharing an awful lot about your life, because VTubers do seem to share an awful lot about their lives. Spike, Spike. My father's influence is I have my porridge made anyway. Well, the thing I do, which often makes people interested, is I learned from a Navy chef to actually... You part cook the sausage, slice it in half, then cook it down the flat sides both down, and then you stick it in a bun, and it's easier and nicer for people to eat when they're on when you're trying to make sausage sandwiches. Yes, you are, Runon. You're an electrician. You moved into a new house. You're going to end up rewiring it. That's just going to happen. Oh, frigate. This is another thing which sometimes annoys me to the system. So, you, bomb, you, on that, but follow them, you. Go into the follow category. You go into the screening team. And we'll see what happens. A stream just jumped. Ah. Yes. Well, Runon, I'm not sure what, but basically I was saying you're going to end up rewiring the whole house. Yes, you are. Yeah. But, Runon, in the nicest way, you were going to end up owning it whatever happened. I know the rule of electricians. Once you touch it, you do end up owning it. But also, that means you own it. And you're living in it. And do you really trust to not be it with not have the electrics done to what are your standards? You're going to end up replacing the whole house. We know that, Runon. We know this. We've talked with you enough times over the last couple of years. We know you well enough to know you will end up replacing the whole house. Just go ahead and do it. Just bite the bullet. It's going to happen. I think Rodney's going to get sunk by sort of sheer volume of torpedo boats, which is annoying. But where are my escorting destroyers? They're off sorting themselves out there. I set them to screen, and they as usual are off. Either they go off massively offensive and try and attack everything in sight, or they are nowhere near when I need them. Don't worry, Rodney. I'll build a new battleship to replace you. My next generation of battleships will be called the Rodney class. That's how we do it. Oh, here come the destroyers. I have to say there are problems, but there's problems with this in that it's designing an AI to work in this situation. And now they're going to bash into each other, aren't they? They are going to bash into each other. No fleet, no ships in wartime would ever do those frigating maneuvers. You say, I don't know, you say after us. Yeah. That is why Drac did the AI voice to start for a reason. Yeah. And it was good. It worked well for him. Guardsman 14, that's not to laugh at me. That's basically causing me to cry. I'm guessing that was an American commentator. Yeah. Look, in the nicest way, most of those people don't even bother to read Wikipedia before they spout off, let alone let alone an actual book on the topic. So I'm just gonna leave it be. Oh. Ugh. The trouble is, when you start making statements like that, you not only make a false version of history, you can't learn anything from history because you've changed history so much, you can no longer properly study it. Because if you start ignoring what the British are doing with carriers because they don't know what they're doing and they didn't understand, then you don't understand half the developments the Americans make in their carriers. Because it's because of the interaction that a lot of those developments come about. And this is the problem. This is why you end up learning false lessons from history. You don't really understand things. And you end up repeating the same frigging mistakes. Because if you don't actually study the frigging history, but make up your own complete version of it, which is wrong, factually easily provable to be wrong, then, you know, you've lost. You've lost. You can't learn anything. You don't know anything at that point. Well, it's more the case of it's often people who have. It's going to sound strange. They go on. They study a particular area of history and therefore they know it all. One of the things I would say about being a naval historian, which is always fun, is quite a lot comes down to economic history and social history and political history. So you have to go and study the whole wider areas. But I often have the joy of bumping into people who are historians who have never studied my area of history and yet will tell me they know more about it than me. And I just get there and go, no, you're wrong. I'm thinking this torpedo will run out of steam long before it reaches me, but I thought I'd turn to avoid it just in case. Is it me? Where's the rest of the battle fleet? They're frigging about over there. Ay, caramba. I was dodging that torpedo warning. I saw it coming. I had plenty of time to dodge. Okay, I know I have a habit of getting my battleship sunk by torpedoes because sometimes I just forget. I just forget about them or sort of things like that. Or I think I can turn faster than I can actually do so. But you know, I've only got to set it on twice speed rather than 5 times speed, and things move more normal speed for me. Doing a maneuver which you would never realistically want to do, but which I will do because I can do a maneuver which no naval captain can actually do. I God's eye view of my ship. Hello. This is basically how I'm handling this. God's eye view of my ship, I will dodge the torpedoes. Oh look, you have a light cruiser left. I'm taking it out. It's going to be a broadside hit. But didn't do much damage, luckily. Luckily, Thunderer took it and hasn't really bothered by it. She's doing well. Biggest bridge crew. It's more like it's full sea outer. No, they have you this time. They didn't. I'm still going. I've managed to dodge most of the torpedoes. Admittedly, I'm now doing 0 knots, but that's the thing. A crash maneuver is interesting as maneuvers go. That ship's gone. Their battleship sinking. This ship's gone. Oh, that's not good. That's the light cruiser which has the most chance of trying to hit me in Thundra. You can't go full astern, which is, I find, annoying. I can do a crash stop, which is doing that. And then you full astern, and yeah, it's fun. I don't try and use that because that can lead to damage of your engines. I'm trying to... Runon, don't take this the wrong way. I'm trying to figure out where your post that's been blocked by the auto mods, why it's been blocked. I'm trying to work out. Does it, brand aspects, does the game have a big learning experience for it? I wouldn't say it does. I would say that you can get rather comfortable, and that you can get lulled into a false sense of security, like I have to an extent with the French, because I keep forgetting sometimes they actually do have some ships which actually have decent torpedoes on them. So many of their torpedoes are duds because they're the older ships which have terrible torpedoes. I sometimes run the risk, and then I get hit by torpedoes which actually work, and I'm in trouble. I can understand that, Spike. It's sensible not running at full speed to give more options versus torpedoes. I do agree. I'm not doing this essay. Oh. Yeah, don't get me started on some people's professional ethics. I'm presuming it's about the commentator who doesn't understand history. Look, I have recently run into someone who, when I pointed out that the true point of the original sensible view in the world was, as long as you're not hurting people against their will, and yes, it becomes a bit iffy once you start dealing with children, or mistreating children, is always my view. What you do in the privacy of your own home, I don't give a flying hoot about. I really don't. Whenever someone challenges me that I should start caring about what people do in those scenarios, I find it really strange. I really don't. I've never cared about it. It's up to you. It's your own home. If you decide to, I don't know, start bashing in windows in the middle of the street or something like that of a high street or a shopping street, I will care about that and go, please stop. In a very nice British way, of course. Which is, please stop, please stop. Oh, you found yourself on the floor waiting for the police to pick you up because you've been stopped. Oh, okay. That's what happens. Well, again, I never understand the people who go on TV or into the press and want to tell everyone else how to live their lives. It just seems wrong to me. And yes, always keep to your high standard of ethics, because frankly, if you have high standards, it's far easier it's better for other people to raise their standards up to yours than to you to lower standards to theirs, because if something goes wrong, you'll be the one who'll feel guilty about it, not them. The 5.5-inch gun is a very forgotten weapon because really it was quite a good weapon, and it's completely disappeared from history because it was on board Hood, and it was the Japanese weapon. But honestly, the 5.5-inch was a interesting thing, an interesting path not taken. I did promise the next class battleship called the Rodney class, wouldn't I? Let's go see how far along the battle cruisers are to being completed. They've got 6 months on all the destroyers. Battle cruisers are 3 months from completion. So basically, we'll wait 3 months and then we'll order them. So remind me in 3 months' time. But I will soon also be going well over 1,500 ships. Which will keep some people happy. Also, Guardsman 14, you might want to point him out the Battle of Narvik. Just go into the third Battle of Narvik and go, so yeah, bigger is better. Narvik is otherwise known as the Norwegian turkey shoot. Ah, lost to a submarine. That's annoying. Ooh. I like this idea. I will go for this. Turning sounds good. So medical. Secondary quadruple turrets for capital ships. That's always nice. Advanced naval shells. That's 45% plus per. The 3-inch guns, improvement. Destroyer design is a 3,300 ton destroyer. That sounds fun, Runon. I think that sounds a colleague who's interesting. No, you're not. But Honestly, sometimes it's not about moving what's gone before you. Sometimes it's about making a bit of the world better for what comes after you. It's great having a massive gun. If you can't use it, you're in trouble. Oh, this is not going to be good for them. Mmm. So they can do 28 knots, 20 knots. That can do 20 knots, 28 knots, 28 knots. That can do 30 knots. That can do 32 knots. That can do 33 knots. 24 knots. Yeah. That is a lot of the trouble you find with a lot of those. Look, let's put it this way. One of the things I've come across with a lot of the people who have a very fixed idea for how things should be, i.e. bigger should be always be better, etc., is they have a very, for want of a better phrase, simplistic worldview. They want the world to be like that because it's easier for them to deal with the world if it's like that. I have no idea what's going on here, but I can tell you I am enjoying it. Canada's here! Oh, I do love it when Canada shows up to play. You go into there. Canada, you're going off because you're getting a battle cruiser back up. You're going to be on abreast and tight. I like that formation for you. You're going to be tight ahead and also avoiding torpedoes. You are all going to be abreast, normal spacing, avoiding torpedoes, but you're going to be on follow. You are going to go in at 25 knots. You, 31 knots. Go! Order! Come on, bang, bang, bang into each other. Let's get this over and done with. Oh, that's a bad scenario to do, Random Dale fan. That is not good. Honestly, some food allergies can be like being high. Oh, Glorious is in front of Canada. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, let's go have a look. Hello, you. You are really not in a good scenario, I would like to point out to you. Oh, God, that was like... You're already sunk. Who sent the battle cruisers to this fight? Again? Who sent battle cruisers to this fight? Hi, Seneca Nero. I'm so tempted. By the way, if I make brew ships tonight a Lego one rather than a book review one, will anyone be disappointed? Because I'm tempted to save the books for next week. Because next week I've got a whole weekend of organising stuff, and so it'd be nice to do the. So the fact that the books are ready to go would make my life a little bit easier. But would anyone be disappointed if that was the case? Okay. Alright. That's gonna happen then. You're being penetrated by the 9.2-inch guns from my battle cruiser. Or rather, my heavy cruiser. Good for you, Runon. You need a split screen camera so you can see the model on bench. That was the plan. There is going to be another camera involved. I've got it somewhere sitting around here ready to set up. I've done that before. This ship is not long for this world, is it? It's just racing into... What kind of... you're moving all a bit too fast. This is your battle cruiser counterpart. Actually, it's a heavy cruiser, because that's what I built it to do, because I didn't like any of the heavy cruiser options. But, you know. Yeah. 9.2-inch guns, 6-inch guns, and 3-inch guns. Beautiful. Really tempted to make it 9.3, 6.2, and 3.1-inch guns, but I didn't. That's pretty much what I have done. Honestly, Runon, you're talking to someone who went through a period where actually it was more of a problem in academia if you were dyslexic than anything else. Everything else was fully accepted. Dyslexia was a case of, is that code for being dumb? And it's always weird to me that in the rest of the world they obsess over other things, and then in academia it's, oh, that we don't care about. Oh, then that's you. That's fine. We're not worried about that. Honestly, academia's been dealing with eccentrics and individuals for so long, it really doesn't understand the idea of anyone fitting a certain mold. Apart from the concept of learning differences, those are terrible things, which should be hidden. And if you're open with them, will just cause you endless questions whenever you go to a job interview. Endless questions. I think my 9.2-inch gunship is taking you to pieces. And it shouldn't be. Because basically, I didn't buy it for that. I bought it to take your cruisers to pieces and your destroyers to pieces. Canada and... well, admittedly she is backed up by Canada. But basically, there's that sailing along going, I'm the battle cruiser! I'm nice! And behind her is, oh, Canada! With 12, 15-inch guns! Do you want a problem? Ah... oh, yeah. But you see, that doesn't surprise me at all. Autism, ADHD, yeah. I can see that causing this. I have been accused of having autistic tendencies on more than one occasion. I've done the testing. I have just got extreme maleness because, to quote the person who did the testing, and I did love them, basically most men are born with traits of autism. It's once you have enough of those traits, you're defined as being autistic, but everyone's on the autistic spectrum. It's just men more naturally have more of the traits, anyway. Pretty much. But it's also, it's a case of, so, you know, it's nice if you surrender peacefully. You are gonna make me surrender peacefully? No, I'm not. My buddy is. Your buddy? Hello. It's Canada. Basically, they're sailing along, and every time they fire at Glorious, they're getting wiped out by Canada. Now, sometimes I turn towards torpedoes. Let's see if I can just turn away on this occasion. Because there's a few of them coming. And I just want to... I'm going to dodge. Because there's that one coming. But there's also those two. And that's more of an issue. No, I don't want you to overcorrect. I want you to go smooth. And I want that torpedo to go wide. It should do. It should do. Let the torpedo go past. Stop veering. Okay. This way, please, please. Is Canada doing nasty things to people again, Glorious? Are you worried about her? Canada is just going, hello? Come to me, please. Where are the rest of the battle fleet's off over there doing whatever it's doing? AI, are you actually doing anything? Are you firing your guns? That's good. I'll go back and check on my Glorious. Check she's not getting hounded by any torpedoes. Canada, are you moving? Or are you just stationary and smashing them up? She's going in reverse. Is Canada at this point is just trolling the enemy, right? Am I just... She's literally reversing towards them going, I can do whatever I like. She just doesn't care. I have made the battleship equivalent of, I don't care. I'll do what I want. She literally is doing a 3-point turn. I have clicked them out of going in reverse. Yes. They're no longer in reverse, are they? Oh, no, she is. She's going to reverse around doing the things. Canada is now the flagship. That's good. She's going to do it in reverse. Let's let you two sort yourselves out. I'd left it in reverse. That was on me. And the enemy battlecruiser is sunk. You're set to start. Yes, I did. I didn't realise that afterwards. I was still going, hang on, is there a start? I thought I'd clicked it off, and I hadn't. But still, it was cool she was doing it. Ah, well, life happens. I'm surprised by this. Anyone else surprised by this? You need a funnel for your engines to work properly? Video. Well. Sorry. Okay, that should do it. I do find some people fun. Comments on the YouTube channel. They're always interesting. There's a lot of people who don't like my microphone and think my voice should have more bass in it. Apparently it's the microphone's fault. I'm going, it could be my voice. Because, well, I don't naturally speak down in the lower register the whole time. When I go into the lower register the whole time, I start to sound like this. And to me, that sounds rather like my dearest departed grandpapa, who used to sometimes speak down here, usually when he was upset with people. And so I speak here, about the middle of my range, as a normal thing. And so that's what the microphone tends to be picking up. But some people do insist on going, you know, you've not got enough bass in your voice. You've not got enough bass in your voice, and all those things. And I'm just going, I'm sorry, maybe it's just my voice doesn't have the bass in it. It is your voice. I've heard you on professional studio mics. You sound the same. Yes. I know, it's terrible. You can't run your boilers in a hermetically sealed box. No, you can't. Oh. They've cancelled their alliance with me. Well, that's fine. What does that mean about ship-wise? I don't mean I'm getting a whole load of ships. Now going to be mine. Oh, goody. I'm getting there's another battle cruiser coming to me, but that's going to be 6 months. I can select port for where that is. I will put that into Ukraine. Canada is building Canada, which I was just using as a... Canada is building a Canada-class battleship called Canada. And I was just using my Canada-class battleship called Canada. Rodney class next month, yep. You did randomly sink a neutral. You know, they get in the way. It happens. Let's think. What would happen if the Royal Navy, SBS, and Royal Marines, and only those two groups, had access to a sufficient number of Halo-verse Pelican for all of World War II? Let's see. With a Pelican, what could I do? If the SBS had access to a Pelican, I'm fairly sure Mr. Hitler would have found himself being strung up in London in front of Winston Churchill and the various governments, because Pelicans were fast enough and high enough flying, they could go up into space, remember? So if you have those, you can literally pop out of nowhere, appear, and SBS Royal Marines in enough numbers coming down supported by those quickly enough, let's say when he's visiting his holiday home in the on the Eagle's Nest in the Austrian Alps and all those things, would probably have been able to get him away before anyone could have stopped them. Like as the US said, I sank the Soviet Union's battleship Wisconsin. Good luck with that one. Neutrality on the seas is a myth. Yes. Next, you'll sink the Lusitania. I occasionally consider that. You know, choose a province of that to be made. Where, oh, Sumatra only. Kwangchao 1. Let's do Sumatra. Oh, goody. This month I can design and build HMS Rodney, the new Rodney class. Random. Yeah, yes, occasionally cats do decide that. Yes, the British did have a lot of information about his movements. They really did. They were not planning on using that information for anything. At no point were they planning those things. Oh, so I'm getting another HMS Canada. I'm going to have 2 HMS Canadas at this point, aren't I? They're all destroyers. And that's 5 months away from completion. Hello! Thank you, Scharfschütz. I'm probably mispronouncing it terribly. I do apologise. Scharfschütz, maybe? I'm going to try and figure that one out. 25 months away. Yes, there's something with 5 twin 15-inch guns called Canada being produced. That was the problem, Spike. Might have led to killing him, could have led to someone competent. However, it could have been that they got Goring, and that's the trouble. It's trying to plan it so that you get Goring rather than someone competent. Could scrap it. Honestly, I don't need that ship, and it's not going to be with me anytime soon. That is the old Canada class design. It's a good design. Don't get me wrong, I like it, but I've upgraded now. They've now got 12 15-inch guns in 4 triple turrets. Don't worry, that's good. Then we can all pronounce it incorrectly. German here. Oh. Well, that's the problem I'm currently having with a lot of Japanese stuff I'm putting into a presentation. Honestly, the keyboard does not match up. I will say this. I put in the discussion in the video about Stalin getting the big ships. And I put in the point about the second, Pacific, the second, great big squadron movement. And I thought no one's going to pick up that. No one's going to want to play with that because it's just so stupid. No one will do it. The amount of people who are going, that could happen, I'm really worried. Stargate puddle jumpers. Oh yeah, Stargate puddle jumpers would just give the Royal Marine, the SBS, far too much power. Nicest way, they'd have Mussolini, Hitler, and probably Tojo for tea with Churchill at the moment of his choosing. It'd be a case of, so the war is now over. You all belong to me. Honestly, he probably have had Stalin as well, just to make the point that the Eastern Europe would be free. So that gives me quite a lot of... I've got roughly 500,000 tons free. So let's go for ship design and see what battleships we can build. With 500,000 tons. Rodney time. Hang on. Let me check the research, because if there's anything interesting coming through soon, I might delay it till the research comes through. No special machinery coming through. Hull strengthening. What's the hull strengthening coming through? Advanced hull materials. Ooh, I might leave that to run. Anything on internal protection I want? I should probably get this. Medical system. Yeah, I'll put that into advanced. Nothing else coming through. Shells. The shells are improving. Turret mechanisms. Do that. Okay, so we're going to give it 2 months before I do the Rodney design. Just so I can get... Hang on, I want hull strengthening over the medical stuff. Just so I can get those things. Oh, I forgot to do the invasion of Sumatra. Let me go sort out. Who do I think was the most overrated general for each side in World War II? Oh, God, there are so many. I'd say, honestly, for the American side, I would like to say MacArthur, but that's mainly his own rating of himself. Bradley is not as good as he likes to say, and I know the movie comes out and it basically says Bradley was Patton's friend and all these things, but actually Patton seems to have got on historically better with Montgomery than he did with Bradley. Which is the complete reverse of the movie. But there again, in real life, Bradley and Montgomery absolutely hated each other in so many ways. They had real fun when Montgomery was in charge of NATO. In terms of France, it's hard to say anyone other than de Gaulle, because he's really the only general in World War II who's rated at all publicly anymore. And he really wasn't as good as he liked to think he was. He was better than others. He was better than some others, but he wasn't really as good as he liked to think he was. Modern battlecruiser? My next generation heavy cruiser is being designed as we speak. Don't need that. Don't need that. Let's put all the emphasis into hull strengthening, get that through, and then we design design it. Oh, I forgot to do Sumatra again, didn't I? Dang, remind me next time. I've got to remember to do Sumatra. Automod. MacArthur, Paulus. Yeah, the trouble is with Japan is... Honestly, some of their generals... Again, their generals are just... You read through some of this, and some of the generals are caricatures, but quite a lot of them knew exactly what they were doing and exactly what the issues were. The trouble is for Japan is quite a lot of their generals are overtaken by the things they do in other areas as well, which means they don't necessarily have the best attention. Some of them surrendered at least 2, if not more, swords. Automod didn't like Jap for Japan. Automod is getting a bit tougher on Twitch. Now, I have got a fleet wandering around here. Oh, yes. You. To there. Don't I still have a huge navy blocking up the whole point of Egypt up here, don't I? No, I don't. The thing is, there are some people who use that who are trying to use it in insulting. You were just shortening it, so it's one of those scenarios where it's a contextual thing, but it's not picking up on a contextual thing. There's a battleship, a light cruiser, I know. Oh no, it's a battle cruiser. Right, so let's go to ship design and construct some battleships. I think Mark Clark had the problem of being on a campaign where he was expected to win, and the trouble is Thrain demanded more resources than he was ever given. He was never the focus campaign. He was always a distraction campaign, and he knew it, and he didn't see the point in wasting wasting people's lives for that. So I think that's the problem you have for Mark Clark in Italy. I think he knows his campaign is a sideshow to keep the Germans busy and to keep as much German forces south of the Alps as possible. And he's not going to have people lose their lives doing that. There again, though, he does end up in some battles where, frankly, there's a horrendous loss of life. So these are now 18-inch 57 guns. Aft weight offset 12.6%. Now, if I go and put that there, and I go with my secondary of choice, and I again make those as long as possible. This is a fun thing. This is certainly something which is a very interesting vessel for me to be operating, but we're going to see what we can produce here. So what happens if I jump that down to 32? Oh, that is interesting. Oh, mon chéri, let us see what we can do here. This is getting interesting. This would be HMS Rodney. There has not been a Rodney class before. It's been a Lion, Canada, all those. Oh, there was a Rodney from 1926. "16.5" would be better for weighted speed of fire, but let's put it this way. So this gives me 36.4 kilometers of range under these current stats, and once I've modified the guns to my normal way, and I've got the increased rounds, standard, increased, their range now has gone to 40 kilometers. If I take that out, and I go with 16.5, which is my normal preferred one, I can also shrink the barbette size. So I put that up to 16.5. And let's see what the range we get out of this is. That's 46.7 kilometers. But let's consider the penetration. So the penetration for this... Remember, there are more ships appearing which have 22 or so inches of armor. 29, 20... This can penetrate 22 inches of armor at 7,500 meters first round. This can penetrate 22 inches of armor at near enough 10,000 meters first round. So what's my likely engagement range? Well, this allows me to engage out to 40.9 kilometers. This gives me 46.7 kilometers. Rotation speed, well, that's 1.2 degrees a second. This is 2.17 degrees a second, which is a lot quicker. That's good. Reload time, 123.1 seconds. Reload time, 308.1 seconds. Now, I've built it with the weights of the 18-inch in mind. But if I take that out, Add in the 16.5-inch. Well, then things are different. I can even do that, which gives that pretty much a circular view. Or I can start really playing around this shit. Need something a bit taller. Will this work? Should do. And then I can stick the 6-inch gun over the top. I could do the same at the front and the back. Let's go this time. Now that's looking fun to me. I do like the 16.5-inch. And I think if we drop the top speed down to 30, drop that down to 16,500, and start upping the main deck armour. That gives us a slightly better ship. But realistically, we want something which is a lot stronger than even that. think maybe what we want to do, what we're going to need to do is move everything forward a bit, aren't we? So if I push that to about there. That to about there. Delete those. Take that to about there. Take that to about there. And take. There's a triple, isn't it? Yeah, there's a triple. That to about there. Ship is overweight. After offset is. No. I want to move you. It's getting slowly towards the more middle, isn't it? But it's slow. Can I move it forward a bit more? That's about as far as I can get it when I'm being happy there. I always love the way on the little screen you see this sort of this stuff moving forward and you're going, now, can we do? Balance takes us down to weight and takes us down to 16,000 range. And then, what else we got? Oh yeah. Want to take that down to about 16 inches. That's realistically what it would be. That about 12. Again, realistically, 8. That down to about 6. 4. 6 if they could get it. No, 4 will do. Inner belt, inner deck. Get the inner deck up to 2. And that up to 6. Aft deck. Belt. down to 0, and that down to 0.5. That can go to 2. That can go to 1. What else do we think we need? Do we think we need to add anything else to this ship? It could do 30 knots. It has 12 16.5-inch guns. What do we feel it doesn't need? This looks to me a fairly good ship for approximately $18 billion per ship. Yeah, that's a steal. The pricing metrics of this game are so out of whack. It's got the best in the sonar I can give it. It's got the best radio direction finding, the best radar I can give it, and the best in terms of that range for long range accuracy. It's got auto loading, which reduces gun reload time by that. Is it really worth, or should I go for? Let's go for automatic, because it does... reduce it by 20%, which is useful. Crew 3,474. That's a lot of crew. Maximum number of bulkheads, so it's well subdivided. It's got maximum triple. It's got the triple hulls, which is going to make it pretty darn good against torpedoes. That torpedo protection 5 is going to extend from side to the bottom of the hull. Anti-flood is at its most effective. Bulkheads, reducing fire and fire extinguisher. Crop 5 armor. Anything I can do to make you happier? But to be honest, I can probably make the that up to 16 without too much trouble. Without needing to worry about doing anything to make this smaller. Because that's plus 85 funnel capacity, 60 smoke interference, and 30.5 target signature. That's only plus 14.5 target signature. That really doesn't affect things too much. I can do that, but, you know. It adds less than my hull efficiency, and with this one being more likely to get damaged, then this one, the better this one does, the less likely this one's to affect. It's a big ship. It is a big ship. It's a very big ship. You can do that. And that makes her look even more menacing in so many ways. But it does also increase engine efficiency quite dramatically by making her that much thinner. Full weight offset. Yeah, that's the annoying bit. Where to say 50 tons? Well, that still gives me 22,683 kilometers of range. So that's okay. And I have an extra 500 tons to play with now, so... Can I get it to 14? I'm basically holding my breath going, can I get it to 14 inches? Oh, I can. Which means I'm going to try and get this up a little bit more. Can we? I don't think we can get it up higher than that without it going over. That'll do. I've got a 0.3 inch thick third inner deck. It's missing its 3-inch guns though. I can feel it. It's telling me it needs the 3-inch guns. And it's telling me I need 3-inch guns. To feel complete, I need the 3-inch guns. So I will have to find a way to give it 3-inch guns, because that's what it needs. It needs the 3-inch guns. And so that, you know, it's now got 3-inch, 6-inch, and 16.5-inch. Okay, so it's got my full set, and it's 20 tons overweight. Oh, this is going to be hard to deal with. Oh no, it's actually 100 something tons overweight. That's fine. If I take the conning tower down to 12. Oh, I've got 100 tons to play with. What should I play with the 100 tons with? The capitation of the conning tower. It was tempting. I did not do that, though. Please don't. I did not do that. I did not decapitate the conning tower. She's got a nice deep draft. She's got everything she needs to be a really good sailing ship. And I've got 100 tons to play with, so this is a tough one. What do I do with 100 tons to play with? That's up to 1 inch. 1 inch. Oh, can't get it to quite half an inch. That'll have to do though. Within 10 tons, I will take that. This is the new Rodney, 16.5 inch, 30 knots of speed. Natural gives me... Oh, good lord. Don't need any of those to chop. Just need components. An extra 200 tons if I go with induced. That includes extra engine vibrations. If I go with natural though, and that saves me 700 tons. If I take off that, add in that, I've still got 600 tons saved. Okay. Alrighty then. Nope, can't do that. Can't really get any more out of the engines. They are at maximum capacity with 30 knots. Alright, so... Characteristics can't change. Crew I'm not changing. Generic armor though. Ooh, 19 inches of belt armor. 14.3 inches of main deck armor. .7 inches of structural armor. This is good. And it is now approaching 5 o'clock when I have to go get some food. So I'm going to say save design on this one. And I think I'm going to order some Rodneys. And then I'm going to go find out what's for lunch, or rather what I'm cooking for lunch, because I think I'm cooking today as well. Sadly, no. I never understand how they designed the things on this system. This is a Rodney, and that's changed to Rodney 1926. Rodney, the earlier design, has got to be back here somewhere. Ah, there's the original one. And this is the new Rodney. Yep. I think I'm going to order a nice batch of... Hang on, they're only 90,000 tons, aren't they? Oh, good lord, I can order more of them. I was thinking I was going to be limited to ordering 4, because they were going to be over 100,000 tons, but I could maybe order 5. A 5-ship squadron of Rodneys. let's go see how much tonnage I've got spare, shall we? What can I build? Because I seem to remember I have a limit of roughly 950,000 tons. I know I'm upgrading that limit, but I've not got there yet. This is going to be fun. So my finances, I'm using 506,000 tons of my capacity. I've got a capacity of 900,000. I've only got 400,000 tons. Dang, I hope to have more. That's because I'm building so many other things, but I can still build 4 of these. 4 new Rodneys. Build ship. 1, 2, 3, 4. Build. And you're all going to go sit in Scarpa Flow, okay? We're going to have you sitting in Scarpa Flow to be the cornerstone of a fleet which is going to be built there. I seem to remember I have got the Queen Catherines coming up, and they have got 18-inch guns. I have got the 18-inch battleships somewhere. Their battle cruisers are under construction. Organised by year. Those destroyers are all in service. Battlecruisers. Hang on, no. Their newest versions are also. So what's happened to my Queen Anne's? Did I never order them? Which if I didn't, I'll just have to order some. Because I have a Queen Catherine. Oh yeah, I remember Queen Catherine now. And there's also Jupiter, which has, I'm sure I'll order some of those as well. That's top speed of 31 knots. Yeah. It's always good to compare their base accuracy. Jupiter's a better design. In some regards, but it takes 34 months to build, and this takes 37 months. 34 months. It'll take 34 months to build. 3 quadruple 16.5-inch guns. Oh well, it's the Ronnies that have been ordered. Anyway, thank you very much everyone for watching, and I will see you maybe later at Brew Ships. If not, I will hopefully see you at some point next week, until the week. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you, Jonathan Moon, Runon, Randall Fan. Thank you, everyone, for chatting away. Paul, Spike, our tourist, thank you. Garsman14, Charles Roots, thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone who's been here, who's been chatting away. Seneca Nero, Spike, everyone who's been here. It's always fun to have you all, and it's always fun to chat away with you. And thank you. Take care, everyone, and hopefully see you soon.